Hey, what's up, guys? It's Digitrevx. I know it's been forever and I haven't been on YouTube and stuff. I've just been incredibly busy making models and doing other important things. So I haven't been able to get as many videos out there to you guys. I'm so sorry. I really want to change it and I'm going to work on it. But today, I'm back with a tutorial on how to get super cute models that are really high poly, like this new Nano V2 that I just released, and models like her into older versions of Unity, so like Unity like 5.6 or something like that. So into Unity with their facial expressions and blend shapes like working and looking nice without decimation. So this tutorial is going to be about 30-ish minutes, be broken out in 3 parts or something, so you can skip ahead if you need to, whatever. I'm going to try to link everything like tools and stuff in the video description, so check that out. And yeah, so let's pretty much start.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is download the Nano model. So you'll find that on ballroll.net, and that'll probably be in the link in the video description. Go down to the red button, hit download. You may have to log in. I'm sorry, that's the way Ballroll is. It's weird, but anyways, yeah, download it. You'll get a WinRAR, and you'll need to like either WinRAR or the latest version of 7-zip to extractor. And then you'll get this nice little folder with everything inside, including the README. Please read the README. So the textures are in here. There's a little like folder with extra little Uni stuff and the PMX file. So the next tool that I'm going to show you in a bit here, it uses Google Translate to try to translate. Because I'm assuming if you're watching this video right now, you're an English speaker and you're going to want to work this in English, right? So yeah, just don't use Google Translate that much if you can help it. So you want to go and kind of look at the PMX file to see if there's an English variant that was put in there by the author. Not every modeler does this because a lot of them are Japanese and don't care about the English variant, but I know at least I do and a couple other people do. So to do that, you're going to want to open PMX Editor or download PMX Editor and then open PMX Editor. You can get the JP version or the English version. There's lots of variations down there. They all have the same similar basic tool that I'm going to use here in a minute. And yeah, so use this. So I'm going to open that. I can put a link in the video description if I can find a decent one, maybe an English one or something. Go to File, Open, Nano V2. Okay, Nano's going to come in here. And you're going to check Morse, right? So let's assume this isn't my model, for example, like for a second. And, we're going to see like all this English stuff, or I'm sorry, Japanese stuff. And that's great. But the problem is if you click English, you're looking to see if there's English stuff in there. So if I go in here and I look at English, because it's my model, it has English in here. If it's someone else's, it may not. And then that's a problem. You can't use this method I'm going to show you. But if it does have English, it's probably properly translated, better than Google Translate. So try to use this, and that's why we're going to do this step. So what we're going to do to replace the JP with all the English is we're going to go to Edit and Name Repair. Okay, it's going to open this window, select Sequence, check morphs because we want to actually translate the morphs. The bones are we can probably do Google Translate with whatever the next tool and stuff. But morphs is pretty important. So we're gonna hit the English group set, hit list names, and you're gonna get all the morphs right there. You just want to select them all, hit Control C on your keyboard. Okay, that's just copying basically. And then you're going to hit JP, hit list names again. You're going to see all the Japanese names there of all your morphs. You're going to select them all and you hit Control V. It's going to replace all of the JP ones with the English ones perfectly the way they should be, and you hit repair. It's going to ask you if you want to repair, you hit yes, it's fixed, and then we close it. So if you go back to morphs, you'll notice they all change to English, even when you hit the JB button. So now they're all translated. So the only other thing we're going to do while we're here is maybe change the texture so we can get glass. Okay, so if you look at the nano model, kind of close here, you'll notice that like there are some glass bits. So see that ring around her, like little, I don't know what you want to call that thing, but it's like a little ankle kind of sci-fi thing. It's semi-transparent. It's supposed to be kind of like a glass effect. So if you go into textures, all right, and you see suit, just like copy this, okay, or duplicate it. Oh, there's the copy, and rename this like G for glass, suit G, okay. And then you're going to go to material, and then you're going to find anything with like glass. So like ham glass, that's the hammer glass, heel glass. We could even, if you're not sure, you can open up this masking tool, and then you can go to like let's see, where was I? So ring glass and heel glass, I think it was. Yep. So you can see how that's going on and off. So we can kind of like, narrow it down. So I want ring glass. I think that's all of them. And then next thing you want to do is go down here to texture and type in like G and hit enter. So that just replaced the texture, so it's now pathed to that other texture. And what this is going to do later for us is like, it's a quick and easy way to kind of just get the texture, everything separated, so that way like we can put a different material on it, so we can make it look better once it's in Unity. Just trust me on this one. So anything in here with glass, if I missed it, you can kind of take more time and look through that stuff. But yeah, so you want to kind of put everything on that texture. If you're done, hit save. So we'll call this like EN for English and save. And then you're pretty much done with this step. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Blender and use a cool little tool that the community developed to bring MMD models into Blender and then ultimately into Unity. Okay, so the next steps are going to take part in a program called Blender. So you're going to get that by going to blender.org. Okay, downloading it, latest version is fine. And you're going to need a really convenient tool that the community has developed called CATS. The link for the download and this forum post will be in the video description. Please follow the instructions to install it. They're very detailed and very well done. If it didn't install correctly, it's probably because you missed something. So double check it. Don't ask me how to do it. Just come here and yeah. So once you have Blender installed, okay, you're gonna want to open it. All right, and we'll get Blender up. And the first shortcut you're gonna learn today is to hit A twice and then hit delete key. And then you'll get that option, hit delete with your mouse, because that's stuff we don't want. And then once you have CATS installed correctly with this tab called CATS, okay, there'll be a gigantic import model button, okay? You're gonna hit that. You're going to navigate to where you saved your model that we'd worked on a little bit ago. Import model. Okay, and then you're going to have your nano model in Blender. Okay, so now my model comes with some blend shapes. So if I select the model, you'll see all of them. Remember how we did them in English and stuff? It comes with these ones that I did. They're VIZ and underscore, and have AEIOU and a couple others like F. There's not like a lot of them, but there's like enough to where you can kind of like reuse a couple and get everything you need to get really nice mouth shapes when you talk, or whatever you're using. So so we don't really need to generate Visemes, but if your model doesn't have that, you can go down to Visemes right here. And then what it does is it wants you to match a morph target with the kind of like the sound that these make. So you would want to match with it's kind of default already. O with O. If it's something that's not recommending, then you can change it. But CH is E, which is pretty accurate to what a mouth will look like when you go ch. So, and they hit create Visemes, and it will create them, including the silence one, which is important. You need a silence Viseme for everything to work correctly. So, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna hit fix model, and what that's gonna do is kind of like take all the MMD stuff and kind of like get rid of the extra garbage, and then just kind of keep like what we need for Unity. And it also sets up the rig to be a little bit better for the Uni rig and stuff. So we're gonna hit fix model. It's going to also translate some stuff using Google Translate, but since we named our morph targets in the step before this, it won't do that. and it'll be better. So this is the fixed model. I know it doesn't look like it changed very much, but it did. And the next thing we're going to do, and this is important, this is why this tutorial actually exists, is because Uni 5 point whatever you have, it will break the blend shapes, like the facial expressions, if the model is over 64,000 tries. So what we're going to do is we're going to split the model into two pieces. So those two pieces are under 64,000 tries. So you do that by starting with hitting separate by materials. And this is going to break the model down into materials that are pretty much exactly like what we saw in PMX Editor a little bit ago. So we're going to hit this button, and it's going to take a second. Okay. And then in the hierarchy, which is on this little right area, hit this little plus, and then it opens up all the materials. Well, all the objects that are broken down into materials. And so what we want to do is turn off everything just to kind of make it digestible, I guess. So it's just kind of, we can just kind of get a better idea of what we're looking at in pieces. And we're going to find everything with a blend shape. So if you click this little tab right here with the little triangle, you'll see where the box is that shows you where all the blend shapes are, like all the expressions for the face and stuff. So you're gonna need to find every little object that has at least even one thing. It doesn't matter if it's one thing or 10 million things. If it has something in here, it needs to be combined and be under 64,000 tries, or it's not going to be in Uni. That's just how it works. So we're going to go down, and I could do some of this off in memory because I made the model. So I'm going to start at the bottom, I guess. And I'm just going to go, so this is vein bonk, exclamation mark, turn that on. We're going to need teeth, tears, stars, squint. Kind of scroll up a little bit. Hologram doesn't matter. Let's see. Actually, everything. So this hollow is the hologram on the hammer. Heart eye. Don't need heal glow or anything. We want hammer, glow, and hammer glass, hammer emoji. The reason why you want the hammer is because if you want the hammer to kind of like do its little scale up thing out of the hand, you'll need that blend shape. So that's why I want to, protect that one. Otherwise, you could do it through other means once you have in Uni. So no glove, no garter. So we need highlight, power glow, expressions, obviously. Ignore that. Circle eye, blush. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so what we're gonna want to do now is going back to the bottom is I'm gonna hold shift and I'm gonna click on the little orangey yellow triangle and I'm gonna click every single one that I put a little eye to turn it on. So gonna go up through all of them, go to these two, these four, face, okay, and blush, okay. And then what I like to do is I like to click the last one that's going to keep the name of all the objects once they're joined. So it's selected last, so I'm just going to click it, unselect it, and then click it again. The one with the lighter yellow circle is the one you last selected. So that's the one that's going to keep the name of. So I'm going to come out here into like the little viewport space and hit Control and then J. And then that just joined everything I had turned on to one piece. All right, so the next thing we're going to need is, because we want it to be two pieces, we don't want 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, we need to try to fill up the that space, the 64,000 triangles, because if you go in here, like I have everything on for just the expressions we joined, if I go to edit mode, you're going to see that it says 12,344 triangles or whatever. So you're going to need to fill that up more. Otherwise, the other group, the other piece of this model is going to be over the 64,000, because I think it's like a 90-something thousand triangle model. So yeah, so we need to get a little bit more into this. So go back to object mode. And I'm going to turn on the body, the band-aid, the corset, the metal, the sides, the top metal. Let's see, what else can we add to it? The hair bangs, the hair. Let's see, I think that's part of the hammer. That should have been joined to it. Let me double check. Yep. So we're gonna need to join that anyways. Head gear can, combine head glow, metal rings. That's, I think, pretty good. Once I get this list down a little bit, I can take a better look at it. So let's try going with that. So I'm gonna go and shift click these. I can probably combine the hologram too, actually, like the little halo thing. Okay, click face last, hit Control J, check in edit mode. What are we at? 55,000. Okay, so we're getting close. Pretty close. So let's join the holograms. That's the little hologram on the head. Okay. All right. Control J. It's a good idea to save too. So we're gonna save into the tutorial folder. Nano Unity Blender file. Save. Okay. Because Blender can crash. Okay, so what do we got left? Gloves. There's a bunch of clothing stuff. Gonna combine everything else. Everything else is not on. By the way, it all has to be turned on to combine everything. Okay, everything except for the face. That's important. Everything except for the face. Okay, and then you're gonna hit Control J. All right, and we can name this like clothes, and then we can name this like body, just to make things generic or whatever. All right, so that's what both of them on. So now everything's combined out to two pieces. So if we go back, just double check one more time. 55,000 tries. There's like this guy. 36,000 tries. So you can balance these two pieces any way you like to. Doesn't matter. The only thing that might matter to you is that in Unity, depending on what you're using, if there's culling in the map, the size of the bounding box might be different on the two objects based on how the size of it. So it might cull one piece before the other. So like if you want to run around and then suddenly the map culls like your clothing off, then like you'll be running around like semi-naked or something. So just a word for is the warning, you know, just so just yeah, if you don't really understand what that means, then maybe read some like guides on Unity or ask a friend. But yeah, just know that like it's probably better to keep the clothing on the torso combined to the body unless you don't worry about that sort of thing. So yeah. So the next thing I want to do, I know this tutorial is already long enough, is you're going to want to export her. So save her. Unity, I don't know, name it whatever you like to. Something that makes some sense. You come back to it later. And then go to File, Export. And then you're going to look for FBX. FBX is the file format we want. Now, I use a preset. This is a preset from Tupper's like mega export tutorial. Like it's the same thing. So if you want, you can stop the video and copy these just like he suggests to do. But these are the presets that I use. So those are the options. Okay. And then I'm going to save this as just Nano Unity. It's FBX is another extension, so it'll be okay, and hit export. Okay. And now it's exporting. Okay. So we're done with the export. Now we can bring her into Unity. Finally. Okay. Okay, so the next part is Unity. Yay. Okay, so hitting Unity, we're starting Unity up. We can make a new project. So new Nanoko tutorial, create project. All right. Keeps opening on my other screen. Sorry about that. But this is Unity. Okay, so this is Unity 5.6.3, and this is the Unity that doesn't like importing blend shapes over 64,000 tries. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is, so I'm gonna shrink this a little bit, get to fit my screen a little bit better, and then I'm gonna make a new folder, textures, or however you like to call it. So I call it txt sometimes. Okay, go into nano folder, textures, and grab, let's see, grab them all except for that extra folder. Come on. And drop them in. Okay, they're going to come in. Great. And now we can drag and drop the FBX into the asset folder. Okay, there we go. And then you should see she should be in 2 pieces. Perfect. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is change from generic to humanoid. Hit apply. All right. You may want to hit, if it does have a little check mark, you definitely want to hit this, but just in case, hit configure. It will open up Nano in T-pose. Everything is green, everything looks good. This is how it should come in. You can remove toes and do stuff like that once you have it in there. So hit done. Okay, so now we can drag her into the hierarchy. So now she's in the hierarchy. So materials, this is why I told you to change that to suit G. Remember that when I talked about the glass? Okay, so the reason for that is so that way you can go in here and be like, oh, look, transparent. Wow. Or faded, however you want it to be. You could do other fancy things like, you know, make it really shiny. So it has that kind of that glassy effect, you know. You can make custom shaders. You can make this glow and stuff like that. So the other thing you're going to need is you're going to need the Unity stuff. So you're going to want to take these textures. These are textures, by the way. Drag them into the texture folder. Okay. This is a shader. Okay. You can drag this into the asset folder. All right. And we can close that. So what we can do with these is do really cool things. So let me go up to like some place that will be pretty obvious. So I'm just going to show you how to set this up real quick in materials, because materials are like really fun actually. So so we don't need anything for really the glass. You can make it glow a little bit, but the suit, we're going to plug in like, I don't know, let's see, go to metallic, you hit the little circle by the way, and then choose like suit spec, okay? And then this will kind of use my specular map. And you can kind of adjust it a little bit and like how shiny you want it and stuff. You can check the emission. What emission is like for the MMD crowd, this is like auto luminos or object luminos, whatever you like to call it. But the cooler thing is it uses a texture map to decide where it needs to glow, which is like more powerful by far. So suit glow, all right. And then what you do is like, see how this is like white and there's a 1? we can do is type in like 1.2 and it'll say HDR. So what that's doing is that's actually emitting light at this point. It doesn't look like it, but like if you're in a Unity project that has post-processing where it has like glow set up in the world, this stuff will glow. It looks really cool. So you can set up like that. So we could do the same thing. The hammer comes with one, so hammer glow like 1.2. 1.2 is a good number, by the way. Metallic, hammer spec, can adjust it. You don't see the hammer because I don't have it out. I could show you that real quick though. So select her. Oops, my control Z. I think I moved her a little bit. There we go. Okay, so blend shapes. Remember how I said that like it wouldn't come in if it's over, 64,000 tries? There it is, because we broke it up into two pieces. So the hammer is right there. So if I bring that out to 100%, then there you'll see the hammer. And it has the spec map and stuff on it. So the next thing we're going to do is sort of fix this hologram thing. So remember how I talked about this shader right here that came with the download? So you can go back to materials, find the hologram, and then change it to Shader Forge Hologram Shader. All right. And then you need to select the hologram texture. All right. And that should be all you need to do at this point with that. That's the emission, and it should rotate in game and stuff. Like it should have the little animation that makes it spin around. So the other thing, let's see, the emoji. So expressions to be changed to like maybe cut out. So that's the expressions on the eyes, which by the way, they have their own thing. So if I go to emission, eye glow 1.2, if I select her face and do surprise eye, where is it at? Eye glow. So that will make her eyes glow, for example, because I have that map plugged in. Cutout usually works pretty good for the expressions. You can do nicer things like fade, but requires like a little bit of material work. So the emoji needs to be fixed because it's pretty ugly looking. Look at it, it's terrible. So we could do like we can do fade on that. That should work. The emission on it, you can put like a color in there. Whoops, can't see it. Brightness, so like 1.2, that'll make it HDR, so it'll actually put off a little bit of light, the little emoji face. So if you want the character to look a little bit better, then well, like, Unity standard shaders, you could use other shaders, like a friend named ZZ has a shader he's been working on. You can use the other friend, Cube. Okay, so you take like something like Cube Shader, drag it into the assets folder. It will import it in. You don't need to like go and do like custom package and stuff like that, right? So you select body, and now you'll see like Cube Shader, and you can do like flatlit tune, the face. You could do Cube Shader, flatlit tune, flatlit tune. So the flatlit tune. Let's see. So the one downside to Cube Shader, and I'm not here to critique shaders, but like you can't really add matte caps or like specularity to Cube. It's pretty basic. It does just like MMD kind of stuff, but like actually kind of a little bit less because they even offer matte caps options. So, but it has like an outline like option, so you can do like tinted line. You can change like how much shadow is affecting it, the width of the line. So you can make it really thin, you can tint it, or you can make it a color. I mean, cool stuff. But if you use my other friend ZZ Shader, I can probably link both these shaders down in the video description as just like additions to this video. Um, but the ZZ shader, or Shishi, is more accurate how you pronounce his name, uh, is it doesn't have the option for like the edge outline, but it has like cool things like matte cap and shine and stuff like that. Or you can mix materials like I'm doing here, where like the suit is kind of like, this kind of standard shader, or it with mixed with tune and stuff. Like there's other shaders like Lux, which have a better reflection property and stuff like that. And you can mix and match and get where you need. Or if you just want to, if you want to see what it looks like with the cube shader, it looks like that. So yeah, I don't think there's much more to this tutorial. This just kind of shows you the bones. They were in Japanese. Again, the CATS tool translated them into English, which did a fairly decent job. I don't think they use actually Google Translate for this. I think they've got it coded in probably, because it does a pretty good job every time. I think they're just looking for specific Japanese names and replace it with actual accurate English names. So that's really cool. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. From here, you can do whatever you want with the model. I mean, like, you can make a little uni project game thing for your, like, for your, I don't know, like portfolio, I guess, or something like that. Please don't sell my model. So I'm not like trying to say like go make a game with her and sell it. But I'm saying like if you want to use it for like a school project, or you want to, maybe put it in the VR chat or whatever you want to do. I just want to say that like even though everyone may think that like 90,000 tries is a ton, um, it's not that bad. What's actually an issue is how many materials you have, how many skin mesh renders you have, how many dynamic bones you have, because dynamic bone is an expensive script. These materials can technically be combined down a little bit, so you can like atlas them, so you can kind of join everything together. Maybe like the face and the body, and maybe the hair and stuff, and then combine like the suit to the hammer and stuff, or yeah, so you can combine it down a little bit, because those little things are what like reduce performance in like programs like VR chat, where like, yeah, like everyone's struggling to get frame rate. So I hope this tutorial has helped in some way. I know it's like super long, I apologize, but I just wanted to kind of do like a thorough kind of import, just to kind of show you guys how to get her in with her, able to have like blend shapes. So, like, so she can still, blink and open her eyes and stuff like that. Um, uh, and or close her eyes. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys later.